Yo, I am the Sandman, and you're listening to Jobber Radio Podcast. Solutions for life, motherfuckers.
It's Jobber Radio. It's Jobber Radio. It's Jobber Radio. Oh, wrestling podcast featuring Matt Zion, Bomber Rap, Scott and Lee, and the one and only Peanut. It's Jobber Radio. Jobber Radio. It's Jobber Radio. It's Jobber Radio. It's Jobber Radio. Bitches.
So if you want to get on there and argue with me, hey, let's do it.
But as an independent contractor, you shouldn't be giving that shit up.
Hey, so basically, you got the same contract as
I do.
12 rounds 3 lockdown.
There you go. That's the Impact TNA confirmed.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Jobber Radio. We got a lot of miscellaneous stuff to talk about today. I mean, there's been a little bit of, news going on that's big, but nothing major. So we got a lot of little tiny, small things to talk about today. First of all, I am Jake, a.k.a. Bomber, and we got a couple dudes here today. First of all, Peanut is here. Peanut, how is your microphone? How is your internet working? Are you good to go for the show?
As always, I am here. I'm ready to go. I have some Swedish fish, as always, as well. It's part of my tradition of Jobber Radio is that I have a Diet Pepsi, Swedish fish, and a microphone in hand. Do the math.
Okay, that sounds horrible, by the way.
That's gross.
Yeah, that's terrible. As you can hear, Lee's here. Tell me you don't have any Swedish fish on you.
No, I don't have any of that, thankfully.
There you go. And how about Scott? Scott's here. What you got? What you packing, Scott?
No Swedish fish, I know that, but otherwise good to go.
You guys don't have a tradition?
No. I just load up WWE.com literally just to give me ideas as we go. That's about it.
Wow. All right.
No,
I just come in knowing I'm probably going to disagree with Bomber on something and yell at him.
Well,
and that's pretty much my tradition.
That's
safe. Thursday nights. Yeah.
That's a safe bet. That is a safe bet. Now, there's a lot of stuff. I've been arguing with people on Twitter all day, by the way. I don't know if you guys have looked at the Twitter page or whatnot. I have been fighting with people all day on Twitter, going back and forth. I found out there's a lot of very, very loyal dirt sheet fans out there that like.
Oh, yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Okay. The topic.
Let's just roll right into it. Yeah.
Well, the topic I was talking about with all these guys was the Lio Rush situation. There's this whole I'm even lost on some of the stuff. I was trying to get details from stuff. All I was doing was getting insulted, telling me just stop. And I'm just trying to get more details. I'm like, okay, if you think this, what about this? And all I get is people talking shit. So
we'll break it down first, like what it actually was, because I was reading some stuff about it too today when I saw it explode. And I was like, what the hell's going on?
Okay, so from what I gathered, from what I seen, basically there was I think it was, everybody's favorite Dave Meltzer came out and said that Lio Rush had a bunch of heat in the WWE. And a lot of it was stemming from his bringing his wife along for everything. He would bring her to like the rehearsals and he would bring her everywhere he went. Apparently that was rubbing people the wrong way. And apparently Finn Balor came up to Lio and kind of told him, hey, the guys aren't liking this. You need to stop doing this. And apparently Lio said something that rubbed Finn the wrong way. And then Finn and Lio had heat. And then basically it was this whole big thing. And Lio came out, from what I saw, and was like, no, this is all on his own Twitter. Like, no, this is all bullshit. Like, this is pretty sad that dirt sheets will just come out and like throw this information out, not caring about the truth, not caring about the facts, nothing. Which, that's, your stereotypical dirt sheet. But from what I saw, a lot of people were saying, no, people were commenting on his tweets and stuff saying, you need to come out. We need to hear from you. We need to know the truth. And like they were demanding he come out with an interview, which first of all, in my opinion, I think that's a little bit of bullshit. I think he should have just told him to fuck off. No, there's no problem. Go fuck yourself. I'm not telling you guys shit. But he did come out and do an interview with, I think, Fightful or something, Fightful News. And he laid it all online. He said him and Finn are cool. He said there's been no issues with his wife. It was all BS made up, but he threw out a couple more details in there that wasn't really a big major issue. He did comment on how he's barely making enough money right now. He's barely making enough for travel and paying for travel, hotel, food, and all that he feels, he's just barely scraping by, which is kind of horseshit according to him. He's not getting any money off of the merch that Lashley's getting with his own catchphrases on it. Yeah, and he kind of brought some stuff out that wasn't exactly in the forefront. Yeah.
Is he saying this stuff, or is this the dirt sheet
This
stuff?
was him. This was him in the interview
He's saying
afterwards.
he's not getting, okay.
Yes, which I thought he shouldn't have fucking did that. But I mean, if you're going to do it, it's too late now. He already did it. But
so it sounds like he has some legit concerns, and someone tried to railroad him by feeding false news to one of the dirt sheets.
Yes.
And so, Bummer, I'm going to jump on there because I've read similar stuff, but different takes on some of that.
Sure, I'm sure.
What I was hearing was that he had brought in people to events that didn't have the proper credentials, and he got in trouble for some of that, which, okay, fair enough. The stuff with Finn, I didn't know any specifics aside from Finn offered him some advice, and Lio looked at it like, well, who are you to tell me? And apparently went to management saying, he's talking down to me, I don't like that. On the flip side, Mark Henry, who's supposed to be this locker room general guy now, also went to him and said, look, what's going on? Like, you can talk to me. This is literally why I'm here. What's up? And he said, no, everything's fine. And as Mark Henry says, he got lied to his face about it, and he's not happy with him either. And the other attitude that Mark Henry has is, the younger guys should be carrying the bags for the older veterans and stuff like that and helping them out. And, that's just how it is. My automatic reaction is, might not be that way anymore. And
I was about to say
that's archaic. That's, fuck you.
That is
Leo's
more
reaction was, why should I? That's not how it works.
That's true.
And that might have rubbed someone the wrong way, but I kind of agree with him there. And that's the sides I saw to it. Also, he apparently got offered $300,000 for 5 years and said, no, give me double.
No, I agree with, first of all, we'll get to that in a second, because
that's the stuff I'd read earlier today.
Yeah.
So right there, two different sources for the same story with different stuff on it. We forgot to talk. It was Sasha Banksy type stuff that led into all this, but we can circle back to that after.
Yeah. See, the thing that I read that he said with the Mark Henry about the carrying the bags, Lio said that he doesn't want to be seen carrying bags if he's trying to be presented as a superstar, just like everybody else on the roster. He's going to get looked down upon, but. Yeah, I mean, I see that. Yes, it is definitely, I feel like an old school mentality. Hey, carry our bags, bitch. You're the new kid.
There's a respect issue there. I completely understand with it's like, hey, can I carry that for you? I'll help you out because I'm riding with you. I got this. But it shouldn't be expected from the older guys
too. It's not like it's There's not
like
a big gap.
what is Lio Rush carrying Roman Reigns' bag? Like no,
That's what I'm thinking. Like it doesn't make sense in this day and age just because the roster is so young.
But I also I understand hey, I got this one for you, no problem. But the older guys shouldn't be like that's just how it's done.
I just think
that's the wrong mentality. I think
Mark Henry is an official employee, and he plays playground bully.
Well,
yeah, that's such a weird old school out of touch thing. I think.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I wasn't too. That's whatever. I can tell that's definitely like an old school style. So. I can see his way of not wanting to do that. I can understand that. And like the Mark Henry brought up, I did see his quote there. It was like, hey, Stone Cold carried bags. The Rock carried bags. What do you think? You're better than The Rock? Like that was the way Mark Henry presented it.
That's not what he's saying.
Exactly.
Like that's not what Lio is saying. God, no. But I'm sure Lio carried bags in CZW and shit, or they all worked together. But that's not a knock on it. But when he was paying his dues, he shouldn't be paying those same dues anymore.
And
none
it's
of them
different
should.
now
It
with
doesn't
how
work
NXT is. How in NXT you're quote unquote paying your days and you know what I mean. It's not or paying your dues. So it's not.
For all we know, he carried Brian Kendrick's bags when he was in 205 Live. We don't know that. That's
what I'm saying. It's a different Mark Henry. I like Mark Henry, but he seems very out of touch.
Yeah, it doesn't.
And he's just trying to do his job. Like he doesn't have a job, so he's making himself.
Well, Mark Henry also came in literally to the WWE. Like he didn't go pay his dues anywhere else. So when he says, I was taking care of Yokozuna, you were literally paying your dues, doing that stuff out of day one in WWF, because you didn't do it. Lio Rush had been going for 5 to 10 years prior. Like it's not the time
Live,
for that. Yeah. I'm sorry, Lee, you kept trying to talk. I kept talking over you. I'm sorry.
It's really outdated mentality, I think. I mean, it's much more applicable if you think back to the territory days where guys were driving like hundreds of miles every day, you know, to hit shows and stuff like that, and you would have a vet paired up with a young guy. But these are all got, like Peanut's saying, even though, you know, this is a relatively young roster, most of the people on their roster are vets. When you think about it, I mean, how long has Seth Rollins been in the business now? I mean, a lot of these guys have 10 years or more.
It's true.
And so, I mean, this idea that some of these guys are like locker room vets and you should be carrying their bags, I think it's just stupid. I don't even think you can necessarily say that like Seth Rollins or people of sort of his age really come from that mentality either.
It's like how many times can you pay your dues?
Yeah, it's like it's ridiculous. There's no due paying really anymore as far as that's concerned. I mean, they don't bring on guys, with the rare exception, they don't bring on guys who have been, you know, only in the business for like 2 years or some shit.
Yeah. And basically, like, online, I'm hearing a lot of like static. I don't know whose mic that is.
Yeah, some weird static coming.
Oh, there you go. Okay. No, and the arguments I was getting in with everybody online was these guys were like, they demanded Lio Rush like come out and say something official, like an interview or whatever, and he finally did. Yeah. And after that interview came out, and he like tried to set the record straight, these guys were still going in on him, saying, "Oh, well, this just makes Fightful News look good, and Lio looks like a dick and stuff." And I'm like, guys, what are you? That's why I was like talking to these people. There's so many of them out there that I was just reading tweet after tweet where they're like, "Oh, well, Leo's lying. He's just." One guy even was saying something as stupid, and I know this is me just getting worked up by, you know, as Lee calls them, the marks out there, but. One guy was even saying, well, if he wanted to set the record straight, he'd be on TV right now. Exactly. It doesn't make sense. But that's the kind of people that are out there thinking these things. Man.
What the fuck is wrong with these people? Like, they think they're entitled to know every detail of backstage politics in these people's lives? No. Fuck off.
Yeah.
It's okay. So yeah. I used to work with Target. Doing the Target Visa credit cards. It's in the States. We had it here in Canada, but you do a call center outsourcing. This is 10 years ago. And there was always that rumor that came out about how Target is owned by a French company. It's not American. And it's like, oh, I read this from this pamphlet that was given out. It's like, no, we represent Target. It's definitely American. It's founded by brothers in Minnesota. It's American. Oh, but I heard this. I'm like, you can believe the thing that someone mailed you, or the person representing it itself, and they chose not to believe it itself. That's just the mentality to say, oh, I like this narrative better.
Yep.
It's like, I'm literally telling you factually from the source. I don't believe you, though. Okay, why not?
Because it makes it uninteresting.
Exactly. I'd rather believe their narrative. That's how a lot of that goes.
These fucking marks on Twitter have no fucking stakes in the game whatsoever. They're just trying to pick sides to pick a fucking fight.
I'm also sitting here like this is almost a non-issue.
That too.
Yeah.
That too.
Yeah. Well, you want to get into fun part
under the rug and push aside. It's just like a slow news week. Like,
dude, the real fun part was Sasha Banks over the past 2 weeks over the whole
hold on.
allegations of like being upset about losing the tag titles, making a fuss on the floor with Bayley over it being broken up, blah, blah, blah. And all this stuff about AEW and leaving. Meanwhile, she's on vacation. Someone even said, like, the internet's breaking and she's playing putt-putt on the beach. Like, there's literally nothing to support anything about what Sasha Banks is doing. I've seen videos from insiders claiming that she's ruined her career. She's doing all this stuff. And it's like, no, she's just having time off for all we know, and as burnout, and that's how they're dealing with it. Maybe she did get upset that one time, and you've done all this crazy stuff since. That's not for us to know. It's what the fuck is wrong with you? And there's been so many varying stories on the bullshit. It's laughable.
Yeah.
I'll fuss with Bayley on the floor if she needs a partner.
There you go. You get a couple hugs down there, huh? While you're down there. Yeah, no, the whole Sasha Banks thing. Oh my god, the whole Sasha Banks thing is even more convoluted than Leo's little fiasco. I guess it's
Well, because Lio at least said something.
yeah. He came out and said something,
Sasha
and
posted stuff. She's liked some tweets. Like,
she was even out there saying stuff like, I may be wrong. Something about she's like, you guys don't even know. Or like basically, she's calling people like marks or idiots just for like buying into all the shit going on. And who really knows what's going on with Sasha? She's not in Money in the Bank as of right now. Who knows?
No, we literally, I think, prepping for last week's episode, Bummer, we both read contradicting stories about how she was offered something or declined something from two different sources.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Which literally negate the other. It's like, what the fuck? It's just being made up now.
And I may be wrong, but I don't remember the dirt sheets at this point in time being so like volatile or so like what's the word, like tabloid. I mean, they've always been kind of tabloid stuff, but like I feel like now almost 80% of it you can tell it's just made up bullshit, like man gives birth to an alien, that kind of shit.
It's so easy as well to get a whiff of something, quote unquote, like a whiff of something, and then just exploiting it.
Yeah,
like it's not like it's a tight backstage area anymore.
And what's brutal,
so easy to get stuff spread or just.
Well, what I hate about that is when you see something like, this is confirmed for the new Marvel movie, and then you read the thing, speculation says that this. Like, that's not what confirmed means, you dipshits.
Exactly.
It's also
that's not what that means.
It's clickbait in the headlines. Like, sometimes the article doesn't even have anything to do with the rumor that gets spread. It's just that the headline's like, Sasha Banks not at Backlash? ? And then you click on it, and it's like, well, she wasn't scheduled, and they gave her a day off.
Yeah. God. I know we're jumping, Bomber, but it's the same with the whole reports over Goldust leaving WWE. Because, he's going to be AEW? Oh, yeah. His contract is expiring. He hasn't left. Then reports came out. He actually got released in January. Oh, and then they backtrack on what the report was. Oh, no, it didn't do this. It's something else. They put out a report and they get it wrong. And, but I wasn't wrong. It was actually this. And they never own up to shit.
Yeah, that's...
Ever. Yeah. It drives me nuts.
Yeah, that's one of the problems that I have with...
It's so easy to be a professional wrestling journalist.
We could do it right now.
Yeah, literally, we could make shit up on the spot and just say...
I saw an article talking about plans
on our website. We could do like a tab. We won't. But we could easily.
That's how easy it is.
Little fan base become a little dirt shirt.
I read an article today about the plans for Becky Lynch for WrestleMania 36.
Really?
Who the fuck knows what that is? I can speculate that all day long.
What were those confirmed plans? I want to hear this.
The plans are that it's going to be Becky versus Charlotte one-on-one. That's why it was a triple threat this time, because it'll be a bigger match for next year.
Oh, so I guess
just dummies fantasy booking.
And I'm like, that's the triple threat was to make both of Charlotte and Becky bigger stars. Being in there with Ronda,
Charlotte was never pinned because that was part of the plan.
So it's bigger. So so you're telling me we're going to just not have anybody possibly get bigger at all over the next year, and it's going to be Charlotte and Becky again, even though they're going right now at Money in the Bank? Yes, that's apparently the plan for next year for WrestleMania for Becky. He's going to be a top star all year through.
The Rock is also in talks of return to fight John Cena.
Remember when there were rumors about Vin Diesel versus The Rock because their feud was going to be turned into an actual wrestling match? That's where this shit comes from.
That's great.
Vin Diesel confirmed for WrestleMania because he did post on Instagram with John Cena.
Yeah. And that was also a confirmation that John Cena was in the new Fast and Furious.
Which means John Cena is on Vin Diesel's side of the Vin Diesel versus The Rock feud, setting up John Cena versus The Rock for WrestleMania 42.
Are you keeping up, Bomber? Is this good?
Yeah, I'm trying.
That's the bullshit people do, because we can literally post that with our speculation, which is what most of this is, and people can run with it. That said, there's often stuff where people are looking at this stuff and are correct, and they are releasing this information, whatnot. But especially with Lio and Sasha and Goldust, I literally can read from two different sites contradicting things that claim to know from insiders.
This is also,
and it's like, which one's true? Does it really fucking matter?
This is really fun. So maybe we should set up a dirt sheet out of the page, and I'll just make stuff up. Me and Scott can just roll with
make shit up.
I'm cool with that. Let's see how accurate we are. We need to be upfront saying, look, we don't know if this is true, but did you hear?
Yeah,
it's speculation at this point.
So one of the things I did want to jump back to was the Lio Rush money situation. Somebody said that
the claims that he can't afford anything.
Well, no, the fact that he turned down a $300,000 5-year contract. I saw people freaking out about him on that on Twitter as well. And first of all, I know people see the 300,000 and they think, "Oh my God, he's turning down all this money." It's
not a lot of money.
It's very simple math.
No.
Just divide that by 5, and you get $60,000 a year. So
The
that's-
source I saw said we don't know if it's over 5 years or per year. My source didn't know if it was either or.
well, anybody can tell that he's not going to be making 300,000 a year. That's just
Yeah, right. No, but
obvious.
that's my source didn't even know.
well, there you go.
Right? Yeah, exactly. But no, that goes the same with who was it? They got the Revival and the Good Brothers were offered like 500,000 for a year
Yeah,
for
the
a few years.
Revival.
One of the Revival got extended 2 years on his contract. Luke Harper wasn't given his release and given 6 more months on his contract because he was injured. They're playing that game now to keep people here and there
Okay,
while letting people
They've
go.
done that. They've
and-
done that before. They've
So
done-
yeah, but they're
With
really
Rey
like it's
Mysterio
making
still out
news now because they're going to
Yeah.
go to AEW if they leave.
I want
Do
to.
you really like? I don't subscribe to a lot of that, and yet I do a little bit. But if Lio Rush thinks he's worth more than that, all the power to you as an independent contractor, and that's a conversation I know you want, Bomber. But all the power to you on that to stand up for yourself and your own worth.
Oh yeah, 100%. These guys, if they're making 60,000, if that's what it is, who knows? Again, if they are making 60,000 a year, that's for all the food, the travel, all that stuff. That
Yes,
is not
as a
that is-
father of
believe that,
two.
actually.
Don't forget
I can't
too.
believe that.
I can't believe that either.
No.
It does align with him saying, "Hey, I'm
Maybe
not
an
making it."
NXT deal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. It definitely
Maybe
would
Well,
he's
align.
still
I
under
don't-
his- maybe he's still under his NXT deal.
I don't like the fact that he is not getting a cut of the Bobby Lashley merch with
That's-
his slogans on it.
that
That's
was-
it. That's not cool.
That's what
I
those
don't
were
like
his
that.
words. Those were his words
Yeah.
in the interview.
I'm
so.
curious if I go to the WWE Shop website, if it's under just Bobby Lashley.
Oh yeah, it's going to be Bobby Lashley Almighty merch. Yeah,
Probably, yeah.
but you would think there'd be a back end deal where it's like, look, you both get something out of that,
Well,
Speaking
I'm saying that could be how they're avoiding paying both.
yeah,
right?
royalty checks.
Maybe there is shenanigans. I'm sure there probably is on some level, but evil WWE or evil marketing guy that's in the legal department who's like, haha, I got a thing. You can't blame
no,
everything
it's all
for
Vince.
it.
It's all Vince.
No,
Vince is-
sorry, you're right. You're
So-
right. I heard
I-
Vince had it out for him, so that's on our news dirt sheet.
I had a question. We brought up Harper there for a second. What is the deal with the Harper? The whole 6-month type deal is that how long his contract is until it ends, or did they tack on 6 months? What happened there?
They tacked on 6 months because that's how long he was injured.
Okay.
So the contracts, the way they all usually want to work them, and this happens with like even UFC type stuff, is
Sure.
if you're injured, you couldn't perform during that, but we signed a deal with you for 4 years of performing.
That's what I
so
thought.
we get
Okay.
we get 6 more months because you were injured. Sometimes they don't, and it's like whatever.
So
Because you rarely hear about that. Admittedly, thinking back on it, that's never coming up. Honestly, contract stuff doesn't often either. Because they could have easily added 8 months onto Ambrose, but they didn't. Because he was out for most of the year last year. So
that is true. Yeah, that is really interesting. How well his, I guess. Yeah, you're right. You are correct. So Harper, his contract would have ended, right? But they tacked on extra time.
or coming up,
Or
it's
coming up, okay.
He wanted it to be released because he had this whole thing with the Worlds
I saw
Collide
this,
Battle
yeah.
Royal, the WrestleMania Battle Royal. He's like, this is my WrestleMania. I should have been in a Mania match with Bray Wyatt for the title and blah blah blah, all this stuff. And he's like, I still have a lot to give. I'm passionate about this. This is my Mania. This is it. And then after that weekend, he's like, I've asked for my release. It's like, ooh, something didn't go right. They don't see any value in him as the performer he thinks he should be. He wants to go. Fair enough. We've
Yeah.
seen many who get to go. Ty Dillinger, they let go. They don't see value in that. Fair enough. But not this.
Yeah.
And here's the insanity of it. Dean Ambrose gets 3 farewell shield things with a pay-per-view and Raw matches and a goddamn live event special they broadcast.
I
and
think this is a
Goldust
good
is
way-
like, bye-bye.
I think this is
fun.
a good way to segue into the Moxley video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's
Because
my thing with
my-
that is how they treat people so
Well,
differently
my
with how
theory
they go.
on this,
It's
I know
odd.
I'm transitioning fast here, but
Yeah.
my
Go for it.
theory is Dean Ambrose is still under contract by WWE, and they funded that video, and he does have a year left on his contract.
You know what's funny? I saw somebody post in the Discord actually that said
I saw Bully Ray talk about that even.
It said WWE helped
It was
fund
weird how they
the-
gave him a send off like that as Dean
Yeah,
Ambrose.
right. No one else gets that. Goldust, who's been
I-
there since 1996, didn't get that. He's been there back and forth,
He is a
but
bigger star at the moment, Dean Ambrose.
yeah.
But I think he's still under contract because
Well,
that's either AEW funded that, which I think would be weird with contract situations.
Yeah.
Like, how does that work with like a
Well-
non-compete?
Well,
or
if
whatever?
the non-compete doesn't apply if the contract simply ended.
Yeah, but it was
true.
almost like this video was shot when he was still doing his goodbye stuff.
I don't know about that, because if his goodbye stuff was, 2 weeks ago, they could have easily shot that within a week.
They could have, but it looked like there was some set design. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's that tough. Like it could be either or.
It
but
seemed very WWE.
it
in
did.
some way.
That was it was a very WWE style.
What I like about it with what Bully Ray was saying was, like, it would be insane to give up the Dean Ambrose name and trademark in that sense. Like, all the equity they have in that would be ridiculous to get rid of.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, I wouldn't put it by them to try. I could easily see it happen. But then what happens? He goes there and has matches with Baron Corbin and Drew McIntyre. It's like, there's nothing. What else is different about it? It's not anything worthwhile or different.
I think. I mean, what's different is he had his injury. He came back. It wasn't a big deal. He kind of floundered as Dean Ambrose, the guy in the Shield, and the only way to separate him from that guy and to do maybe a proper heel turn is just to ditch Dean Ambrose and have him come back, as Jon Moxley.
Now, the other part of it that I saw was talking about how there was belief within WWE, again, this is a dirt sheet, saying that they think he's going to retire. He's not going to go anywhere else. He's going to retire. 1 week later, there's a Moxley video trending. Like, fuck
that
you,
it
dirt
came
sheet.
back-
Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Like,
And that it came out so fast. Like I could imagine.
I was shocked how fast it came. I was shocked
That's what
how
I'm saying,
fast
like,
it came out.
I mean, it could be AEW. Like I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think it's going to be his random indie wrestling return to WXWC4 or something random like that. Like it's going to be a big deal.
well,
wherever
dirt
this
sheets.
lands.
Dirt sheets also report he's going to be back on the Indies in June or something like that.
Well, that's
so,
what I'm saying. There's
like,
no way he would fund this kind of video just to make a random indie. Like this is
no,
this is-
this would be AEW. Like, if anything, he's going to show up at Double or Nothing,
could be TNA.
or maybe.
No.
I don't know. Brian
No.
Cage got fucked up. So
I can't imagine Moxley going to TNA.
That's
Oh,
what I
it'd be
mean.
great.
Impact.
He could go there as Ambrose, and they could murder him in the ring, and then he come back to life as Moxley.
Hey, now we're onto something. Now
You know
we're
I'm
onto
kidding,
something.
right?
Yes, I know you're
Yeah,
kidding.
but you're talking about TNA. We've seen this shit before.
Yes.
Yeah, this is stupid as fuck. I refuse to watch that promotion. Though.
Yeah,
Oh,
do
you-
not watch the cage match if you want to see someone get fucked up and keep
get-
going for 10 minutes. It's
Yeah, that
brutal.
was dumb on his part, dumb on whoever's call. I assume it
What
was
he-
theirs.
Was it a concussion or was it?
No,
Back injury.
he hurt his back, or like really.
He wasn't
bad.
at the tapings. They taped on Monday night. He wasn't at them.
I
He's
don't know
gonna
how
have to
he-
drop the.
I will say they didn't vacate it, but they're doing number one contendership.
I imagine he's gonna. Drop that title quick.
Yeah, like he might be done. Like that literally could be it. We're into that territory
They
with his
did.
back.
This is what happened, Peanut. And anybody else out there who missed what happened on the actual pay per view, him and Johnny Impact got on the little entranceway, and it was one of the entranceways that connected with the ring, like it was a raised entranceway. They went out onto the entranceway, and Johnny Impact hit a Spanish fly off of the ramp onto the floor.
It's like 5 feet up. It's not huge. Like
Yeah.
like a Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, I know
drop.
how
And
TNA
it's onto
works.
like the padding, whatever.
And when they
But,
landed,
yeah, he landed flat and immediately grabbed his back.
yep, and they kept going for I don't know how much
they-
longer it went. It was like 10 minutes. It felt like forever.
They talked so much in that too.
Yeah.
Like it was probably a case of like, do you want to do this? Can you do this? Oh, I'm gonna do it. And
There's no telling what
they
happened.
went
So
through with
dumb.
it and still had Michael Elgin come out and attack him afterwards and fucking suplex him and shit. Like
Yeah.
that sucks because I really like Michael Elgin, but there's no way I'm fucking watching.
And I love
promotion to
Cage.
see
I
him.
love Cage.
Yeah.
Brian Cage is great.
Oh, it's awesome. He's a full-time world champ. It's awesome. It's great. But he's probably gonna drop
Yeah.
the belt. And on the next taping, if it's tonight or
That
tomorrow,
sucks.
'cause
Yeah,
he
it was
can't go.
a bummer to a pay per view. It was pretty decent pay
So
per
that
view.
you're saying they need a big name, which could be why they funded. the
Yeah,
John
but I
Moxley.
can't see
Could be
Moxley.
Ambrose.
Moxley's not going there. I mean,
Yeah, that would.
No, it's more. It would be more likely that he would actually change his gimmick that much for WWE than him going to Impact.
I actually
And yet,
would say
I
that.
WWE
think it's much more likely that it's probably an AEW thing,
I don't.
or like he's not like a social media guy, really, is he, Bomber? Like,
No.
No, he hates
yeah,
social
so
media.
that's weird too. So
He hates social
It's
media.
just, it's very that this would not be something. I mean, I don't know him personally, but his
which is
track
kind of the
record-
point, right?
I
It's
mean,
like,
I've seen him on Total Divas. That's my knowledge.
Oh,
Of
here we go. Our Total
So-
Diva insider here. Here we go.
Yeah,
Give us
where's
the
Rab?
scoop.
Me and
Give
him
us the
would
scoop.
Love talking about this, but he does not seem like the person that would do this by himself. I mean,
100% not.
so
He's
Yeah,
not
it's-
running the Twitter account that was posted on. I've seen him talk about he hates Twitter and he hates social media. He hates all that shit. He is not the one running that Twitter account that
Well,
we all see. Somebody else
neither
is
is
doing
the
it for
Iron
him.
Sheik. He doesn't run his. It's,
Exactly,
there's a person who
exactly.
does it. It's common for that.
Yeah,
to
so
happen.
somebody's running this for him. It might be Renee. Who knows? But
well, they're required, I think, by contract to have one. Like that's why John Cena has an Instagram.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Undertaker
has
has
to.
one for crying out loud.
Have
so,
you
yeah.
guys seen the? There was a little news blurb, again from the dirt sheets, that the WWE is trying to put out there the demand that all their performers under contract turn over their passwords to all their social media accounts.
No.
I do not like that.
No.
'Cause that's a personal thing, also used for branding. That's not cool.
Bad.
Yeah.
That's rough.
So that happens, and there's a flip side to that, where The Rock, he will get signed onto a movie, and he will promote it on his Instagram and Twitter to a bajillion people. We all remember when he launched his Twitter live on Raw, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you get The Rock on the movie, he will promote that. He doesn't have to. He probably
Yeah.
is obligated to do a certain number of posts, but also if he's passionate, he'll do it. And he's a bajillionaire. He'll do only the things he likes, so he's passionate about all of it right now. So he'll promote that. But you can't take that and say, we have access to that now. No.
See,
Yeah.
That
actually-
is bullshit,
Now,
I think.
it is, I agree, but working in the news business, I've seen there are things where reporters come in and they have to have all their stuff set up and ran through the news station, and the news station has all their passwords. One of our meteorologists I had actually, one of our meteorologists was fired because he was caught. I don't know if sexting might be a strong word, but
Sliding into the DMs, as the kids are saying.
yeah, he was he was saying some inappropriate things with a female fan of his, and he got fired. It all got caught because the station had his passwords and stuff, and that's
There's-
like in their contract. So it
There's
sucks,
lines you go through, because for me, like, I could honestly post on stuff, because where I work, which I've never mentioned, for this reason alone, there's a negative site to the company as well. I could go on there and say stuff and shoot it down, but I'd get in trouble because I'm not the media department for my company.
Right.
That's not how we handle that. So you don't do that.
Yep.
This is the same situation. If you're signing the contract and it's part of the contract, well, you fucking signed it. You got to do it.
That was my thing. It's different
But
than
if
they're
you
just
don't
saying,
want
like,
it,
now
like,
Dolph Ziggler, you have to give me your password because it's our new initiative.
yeah.
Yeah, no, that's like
It'd have to be in the contract.
There's a weird aspect to it because it's got to be in there. But if you'll give it to me, no, I am not
It's just
obligated
weird
to give
how,
you
like,
my personal thing, which I
social
will
media
also
is-
use for branding.
Yeah, social media is not new anymore. I think some people try to act like it is,
Yeah,
but it's so weird that we
Well,
don't have this figured out.
do you remember there's times when they were like, oh, we're having summits on how to teach all the fighters
Yeah.
in the UFC about social media, and then the WWE did the same thing, and
Mm-hmm.
Zack Ryder's like, you're fucking insane, right? You're the reason. Like, I'm the reason this is happening, and why are you making me attend this? This is stupid.
Yeah.
So
So-
the Undertaker is gonna shut down his Instagram, and he's gonna be like, "Now you can see me on my wife's Instagram."
There it is.
There you go.
Somebody's got to get in there.
But it's I get with the idea also, though, when you're a personality and you are literally like, oh, they're putting the Twitter handle in the name graphic when they come out on Raw.
Yeah.
Like, I get that. That's a thing. Like, you can connect with the fans on the Twitter. Okay, that's neat. That's a connection. That's there. That's how you do that.
But
But
it's not like they're kayfabing on
No.
Insta. You know what I mean? Like that's like if you go on to what's his name? The big guy with the beard. You're gonna get
Braun
the hands.
Strowman? Jesus.
Braun Strowman.
Oh my
I was
god.
like-
I had a moment there.
Yeah,
If
okay,
you go on
Braun
his
Strowman,
Instagram,
yeah.
it's in the description. he's like, I'm not. This is the real me. This is not the character I play on TV.
Yeah.
You're gonna take his password.
Well, shit. I mean, Alexa Bliss has her real name as her.
They do that too. Yeah.
A lot of them are
her
doing that
her
now.
at is
You
like
keep
Alexa Bliss.
ownership of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird thing, and
But as an independent contractor, you shouldn't be giving that shit
I'm
up.
saying I
But
can
if
see
you
them
sign
needing
a
to give them
contract to do it,
password
maybe you should. It's,
if part of their act and their contract is that
Yeah.
they have to like be their characters on social
Okay.
media.
actually,
then
Bomber.
that's-
Here's the way we can kind of look at it. Okay, so the news guys had to sign their stuff over
Yeah.
and go through them because that's part of what they were as employees of the news station.
yes,
The WWE wrestlers are not technically employees, even though they really should be based on how it operates. They're independent contractors, blah, 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 blah. It's different. It's, yeah.
yeah, it's all dumb, but it kind of leads into the other stuff that we were already talking about with contracts, like with Harper. Everybody gets so mad. Oh, Harper should be able to leave. WWE can't do this. Well, guys,
No.
if it's in the contract, he has to work these certain days, and if there's a clause where he gets hurt, they can extend. As much as it sucks,
That's-
it totally
yeah.
sucks for
Which
Harper.
is in the
thing-
contract that he signed.
Yes.
Like, this-
People
Exactly.
forget that these are like real people and that this is their job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it sucks, but it's
contracts-
legal stuff.
they're
Like,
what they
here-
are. Like,
for my job is I do video production, right?
Mhm.
With my company, I'm an independent contractor, but I signed that I'm exclusive to this company, right?
Okay.
So if I would do work for Jabba Radio in quotes and you would pay me, I would be
Oh.
breaching the contract.
so basically, you got the same contract as.
I do.
A
I'm very
superstar.
relatable to the WWE,
Well, there you
except on a
go.
lesser grand scale.
Yeah. So
I pay
I
for my
mean,
travel, my
there-
food.
so basically, it's like the exact same thing.
Yes,
Sounds like okay, interesting.
minus the bumps.
Yeah.
Now-
you don't get fucked up as much.
the same,
But
the
I have
similar
health
side.
insurance, so
we-
that's the big difference.
I was gonna say when we
Oh,
have
yep.
people visit, where I work, there's sites all over Canada, and someone will come from out of town. Well, their travel is paid, their meals are paid. Like they take their receipts back, and it's all paid because they're
Mhm.
employees of, not independent contractors.
Yeah.
So there's the discussions, but a contract. I mean, hell, when you buy a house, you're given a book that's pretty much like, okay, so read that. I'm like, I'm not reading all that, but I'm gonna skim it. Like if you don't, if you sign it, you're agreeing to it, whether you read it or not. And a lot of people complain about contracts, don't know how contracts work. Well, I used to work also. We're getting into my history here with stuff with AT&T way back when, and people are like, oh, I never read that. Well, but you signed it. Well, it doesn't matter. Actually, yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you
Yep.
signed it without reading it, why did you sign it? You have agreed to whatever's in this, whether you read it or not, because
Yep.
you signed it. And that's not even what this discussion is. This is how the contracts work. He should leave if he wants. Yeah, he can't quit. He has a contract for a number of dates or time frame that can be extended upon based on other things in the contract. If he wants to leave and they let him, cool. If they don't, fair enough.
This is a perfect transition here because, look, people get so mad about at the WWE for these things, which is crazy to me personally. I think that in that same scenario, they get mad at WWE, but then we look at the Saudi Arabia deal, and I wish Matt Zion was here because he's super fucking against the Saudi Arabia, and they got a show coming up. We'll get into that.
I got
in
the
a
details
second.
right here. I got
Perfect.
it.
So, okay, before we get into the details on that, these same people that are mad that WWE should let Harper or so and so Neville or whatever, same deal out of their
Neville's
contracts.
good,
Yeah, let them go on their release. They want released. The Revival too. They want out. Let them go. WWE should let them go. Well, why aren't those people mad? Or why are those same people mad at WWE for having to fulfill their contract with Saudi Arabia? It's a little different. There was a murder involved, but none of that matters. It's still a contract. WWE signed a 10-year deal. They have to have however many shows they put on or whatever, 1 or 2 shows a year for 10 years. I know it sucks. I know Saudi Arabia is the fucking worst, but at the time WWE signed that contract, nobody
think
knew.
It's not necessarily that they signed it's that how can I put it into words? I mean, I see what you're saying
Mm-hmm.
to a bit, but that they wanted them almost to breach the contract. Like your morals should be above your penmanship or whatever. I don't know what the legal what
Exactly.
the consequences
Yeah.
of breaching a contract like internationally like that.
I'm sure they're beyond huge. I'm sure they're
That's
beyond
what-
huge.
I don't understand. Like maybe in the contract, you're right. Maybe it says if you don't fulfill this for any reasons,
You will die.
yeah, we're,
They're
Yeah, I
getting
mean-
built.
we're gonna wage war against
They're
the United
getting-
States, and WWE's like,
They start the war.
They're getting they're getting $1 billion from fucking Fox. They can take a fucking kick from
Now
Saudi Arabia.
there are levels to how that could all be treated too, because if it's a matter of we signed this under false pretenses because you said all this shit was going to be good, and then you went and did that shit,
No, sure.
you might
yeah.
have a legal out. There's things you could do to maybe get out of that.
And I guarantee you, the way they handled the crown jewel, where they wouldn't say the name, they wouldn't do all that stuff, I guarantee you they want out of that deal. I think it's pretty obvious they don't want to be in the situation where everybody's against them, everybody's talking shit, and it's going to come up because actually the show's coming up soon, so this is all going to come back around again. Everybody's going to be talking about it again as soon as they go.
I think
Each
it's-
time they
oh,
go.
hey.
because also the superstars are also like, if I remember, they were actually voicing like, hey, I don't want to go.
We talked about this at length because it was originally going in. Everyone was going to
So I
go
think it's
except
always-
for Sami Zayn because he's Syrian descent, and that's not good with Saudi Arabia.
Oh,
But
hey,
then John Cena's like, this will hurt Hollywood. I don't want that. And Daniel Bryan had morals
yeah.
that were able to go around it, and that was good. Everybody else had to go. And like what? Mark Henry, again, let's mention him, was like, no, sometimes you don't want to go somewhere you don't want to go, but you got to do it. That's part of your job.
Yeah, but it's
And
not going to Kansas City.
no, it's
But hey, it was
I don't
just
like Mark Henry anymore.
it was just either this week or last week. Saudi Arabia just put like 30 people to death amongst
heard about
amongst
that.
that number homosexuals.
all right.
Using
Just
the
because they were
WhatsApp.
gay.
So
Yeah. And use
here's
the
a press
WhatsApp.
release from WWE.com.
Okay.
In Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and Stamford, Connecticut have released this press release. Riyadh is where Crown Jewel was. The Saudi General Sports Authority, in partnership with WWE, will host an event at the King Abdullah Sports City Stadium in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, on Friday, June 8th at 8 p.m. local time. The event will feature WWE superstars Roman Reigns, Undertaker, Kofi Kingston, Braun Strowman, Seth Rollins, Goldberg, AJ Styles, and Brock Lesnar, and stream live on the WWE Network. Details for matches, ticket availability, and pricing will come shortly. And looking over at WWE.com 3 hours ago, what's next for Goldberg? Let's take a look at possible matches we could see in Jeddah. So they're mentioning it this time. They didn't last time. All it said was live from Jeddah or from Riyadh.
That whole situation was
Once.
pretty hot at the time.
And they never said where it was otherwise. They're saying where it is again.
Yeah.
I want to see if John Oliver.
So yeah,
makes a
Goldberg
statement.
is going to be there, and apparently wrestling. And the dirt sheets say that they offered him money, WWE that is, to keep him from being a marketable name going to AEW,
Oh my God.
Right.
because that'll bring casuals.
Or they're going to
wanna
Saudi
prevent
Arabia,
that.
and they
Or they're going to
always
Saudi Arabia.
go all out at these Saudi Arabia
And
shows
because
so.
they have to. I think
Also-
one of the whatevers could have been like, "Hey, we want Goldberg,"
Yeah.
and they're like, "Oh wait, he's alive. Actually, we can make that happen."
Yep.
Yeah. Also, Brock Lesnar apparently is no longer going to be in the UFC. He's not going back.
That's a
He's
bummer.
retired, according to Dana White. And at the same time, because there's MMA dirt sheets too. Let's have that fun. They're saying he's still in the testing pool for USADA as of 2 weeks ago. So
Ugh.
why is he retiring here?
Yeah.
He's saying he was leaning toward the Daniel Cormier fight. Others are saying that's never been offered. And Dana White said it was never offered, but Brock himself at a dinner where making a rare appearance said that it's not been offered. So maybe there's some back and forth between those
So where
two.
did this whole Cormier fight come from that everybody was talking about?
Dirt
Because he-
sheets.
Well,
No! Oh my God.
No. What happened was after Cormier won his last fight, where he retained the heavyweight title.
I remember, yeah,
Brock
they got-
Lesnar
yeah.
was there and got in there and shoved him, and it's like, well, that's the fight to make.
Well,
And
if-
I'm glad it's not going to happen because Brock Lesnar hasn't won a legitimate fight in 9 years. He shouldn't get a title shot. That's ridiculous. So
Yeah.
here he comes back to WWE. Here we go.
well, I mean,
Oh,
I'm,
the title.
I'm fine with. I'm obviously fine with that. I'm.
Well,
I'm
I heard
bummed.
that Fox. I mean, this is a dirt sheet. But I heard that Fox wants Brock Lesnar or Ronda Rousey on SmackDown.
I said when the Fox deal happened, SmackDown will be the A show, and it's going to stay that way finally.
It's happening.
They always throw them a bone, and then it goes back to Raw.
Yep.
It's
But no,
going to
once they put
happen,
Roman
and
Reigns
it's
over.
coming. It's
As soon as
happening.
they put, yeah.
Not
once
only
they
that,
did
once
Roman Reigns.
they put Roman there and said it's the biggest acquisition in SmackDown history. They've moved champions around like Cena
That's- yeah.
before, and no, this one's
Well,
bigger. Oh,
They always do that
Technically.
one as a joke, and then Cena's back on Raw. But
they still did it though.
I was gonna say
that's what I'm saying. Like that's like John Cena going to SmackDown in 2008.
Yeah.
Like, it wouldn't have
Man,
happened.
you thought Raw was a dire 3 hours to watch before? Wait until fucking SmackDown becomes the A show. Then you're gonna have 3 hours of fucking death.
Yeah.
Like, woo.
I was gonna say, is SmackDown still 2 hours, or is there any rumors of 3?
You dirt sheets say they might go 3.
well,
Are they gonna move Raw back to 2?
they're not. They're not going
probably
to. They're not going
Because I'm sure
to.
they have a contract with USA. Back to the contracts
Yeah,
with stating they need to do 3 hours of shows for X or a week for X amount of days. But
yeah.
I wonder if that would be.
Yeah, I won't be watching that shit. I'm telling you right now. I'm just going to continue to watch MLW and actually enjoy my wrestling.
And
Thank you very much.
Fox is not going to break into that 10 o'clock hour. If they, because that is all, it's always been that way. I
It's
mean,
a big news hour.
It is their news hour, and it's been that way forever. And unless they start at 7, they might start at 7 and go to 10. But there's no way they're going to cut into that 10. I will be fucking shocked if they go into that 10 o'clock hour because it's always been the news hour.
So it's actually going to be on Big Fox. Like I heard it was going to start on Big Fox and then go to one of their cables, but it's going to be
Big
on
Fox.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah, it's a big deal, man.
Yeah.
that's why it's $1 billion deal.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. So about the Saudi Arabia thing. So we got Goldberg, we got Lesnar there. I mean, obviously, I'm probably the only one that's not mad. Lesnar's probably gonna stick around for a little bit longer, but
If he's going to
fine.
stay and commit to it, I'm all for it.
well,
No,
we
it's-
already
it's-
knew he was gonna come back at some point.
I like Brock Lesnar matches. I was tired of him with the title.
Yeah, tired of him being the focus. Like, if you want
He
to...
come backs and have one-off matches with Braun Strowman, AJ Styles, Finn Balor.
Okay.
That's fun.
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever.
So you guys are okay as long as he's not a champ, is what you're saying.
I'm okay as long as... as long as he's not a
Hogs it.
champ, because if he's just going to sit there and not defend the belt for like a few months, well, what the fuck's the point of having him as champ?
Okay. All right.
It just doesn't make any sense. But of course, it's WWE. It doesn't have to make sense anyway. It's just me. I want my wrestling to actually have some fucking champions defending their belts once in a while.
You should
Weird
watch
idea.
that Young Bucks operation.
No, I'm going to watch MLW where they actually defend their fucking titles and they have good matches and they have good storylines and good TV every fucking week.
Oh yeah, I saw you praising Callahan and Mansoor over there, huh?
Oh yeah, I know CZW guys. Yeah.
Hey, I didn't say
Hey, CZW guys actually being used to their full potential.
Hey,
Oh, there it
they
is.
had to come from
Arm
somewhere.
bars,
They had to come from somewhere,
Body
my friend.
slams, camel
Yeah, and-
clutches.
They're out of the broom closet and they're into the big time
Hey,
now. It's
that's
good
what I'm
stuff.
saying. You got to start somewhere, and CZW is a fantastic
Dean
jumping
Ambrose.
off point. Several people, Ambrose, everybody. Adam Cole,
Here's another thing,
everybody's favorite, Adam Cole, CZW, baby.
Yeah.
If there was
CZW,
only
baby.
a series detailing these people who were in CZW at one time.
Yeah, and it should be done more often. That would be nice, right? That would
We
be.
should have a subpage on Jabba Radio where you
Yeah.
highlight all the former.
Yeah, maybe I'll
CZW
think
logo.
about it. I'll think about it. Yeah, but no, there's so many different things. So okay, I guess let's talk about let's talk about Moxley for a minute, because I think that's to me my most exciting thing that's happened this past couple weeks is the chance that Moxley may actually do something. Do we all agree that he's Peanut?
Well, I don't think we got your opinion. What do you think the video was? Is he WWE yet, or is he
You mean
AEW? Like I know we kind of. So you think WWE?
Yeah, we did kind of gloss over it.
We did, but I don't think we ever got your
Yeah,
opinion.
you never got to say that.
Yeah. When I watched it, I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was a B movie movie trailer. That's what I thought it was.
That's
100%.
why I thought it was WWE.
Yeah, it looked like a WWE Films movie. It did. So that's why I was a little confused, and everybody instantly went out there. Oh my God, Moxley's coming back. He's going to be wrestling. He's going to the Indies. Blah blah. He's going to AEW. All that. And I'm like, are you sure he's just not just making a movie called Moxley? I mean, I don't know, but I think
It could be.
if I had to put money on it, I don't think he's doing a movie. I mean, he has been in a movie before. I have it behind me on my shelf, Blu-ray, baby. The final
12 rounds 2 or something?
12 rounds 3.
3,
Wow.
He made 3 of those. Wow.
That's right,
Yeah.
Orton was in 2. That's the one.
No, he was in the.
Oh, no. Orton
No,
was in
he was
12
in the
rounds.
Marine, wasn't he?
No, that was Kennedy was in
hell is
Oh fuck.
Oh my god, there's too many of those movies.
Yeah.
I can't
No,
find. I'm
Cena was
looking
in the Marine. Orton was in 2. Orton was in 12 rounds.
Cena was in 12 rounds. 1.
Cena was in 12 rounds. Orton was in 12 rounds 2. Ambrose was 12 rounds 3.
12 rounds 3 lockdown.
There you go. That's
They
the
just-
Impact TNA confirmed.
Here it
Yeah,
is.
they just
No,
keep they just keep passing the movie franchise. If they keep it going, they just keep passing it down to lower guys on the card. Pretty soon, you're gonna have like a fucking Zack Ryder in one of these fucking things.
Lio Rush starring in.
Lio Rush.
well, they had
The
Bo
Marine
Dallas
7.
and all them in the Marine movie. So
Yeah, 5.
But
Leo
yeah.
Leo Rush's will be $12.
oh,
Well,
Will be
Jesus.
12 rounds.
Well,
Oh my
what was
God.
it? Becky Lynch was the bad guy in Marine 6.
She was,
Oh my
yes.
god,
it
there's
was
been
Shawn
6
Michaels
of them?
and Miz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
By the way, listen to this though. I'm looking at the DVD right now. 12 rounds 3. Listen to how much impact is in this. 12 rounds 3 lockdown, and then the little the little tagline. 12 rounds in the clip. 1 shot at redemption. Like, come
Wow.
on. There's so much impact right in that one little on this cover.
Yeah, it's written like something you'd see on Impact.
This fight will end in bullets. It says on the back.
Wow.
Maybe 12 of them.
is it
Maybe
designed like one of those
12
old
them.
TNA DVDs?
I don't know. Let me grab one that I have on my shelf and see.
Oh my god.
I have the AJ Styles Volume 2 DVD around here.
I have the Jeff Hardy one. It does not include when he got drunk or whatever he was
his
intoxicated.
first one
somehow.
before he came back to WWE in 2009-ish.
Yeah.
Is the old one.
There always should have been like a Dixie Carter softcore DVD. They should have released that.
That would be bad. So anyway, what did you guys think of the individually just of the video? Peanut, you
liked
said
it.
you thought it was a WWE thing. It looked WWE like he's
It
gonna
did, like
stay.
just the style of like how they do their back, their like vignettes. Like it had that vibe. It didn't look like anything that AEW's kind of been doing. Like they have good production value and they obviously have the money to back something like this. But just the style, like they went with one of their go-to directors and kind
Yeah.
of pieced this together. So that's why I was like, maybe WWE. But at the same time, that's kind of far-fetched, because they kind
Yeah.
of wrote him off. But they wrote him off, like I said, in that weird way, where it's
It's very strange, very strange with the whole Ambrose scenario. But Scott, you said you liked it.
I liked it. Like I said, I'm fascinated with this because we've known since January they announced that he's not staying, and immediately people were like, "Oh, match with Triple H at Mania. That's the storyline." And then he was at WrestleMania backstage. He's in the photos, but he didn't have a match. And then he was on Raw, and then they had the final Shield special bullshit thing. And it's okay. Well, that doesn't happen for anybody else. And like I said, Goldust is tenured, and they didn't do it for him. Sure, he's the brother of Cody, but whatever. But still, it's like there's senses of loyalty with this kind of stuff, and that's kind of weird. And then he gets this video, and it's like, okay, that's a complete rebranding, but also a step back to what he was. And I don't believe it to be WWE, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Where do
and
you
just like I
think?
said,
Sorry, I was going to ask. Where do you think
he's
he
going
goes?
AEW.
AEW is
100%
what you're thinking?
AEW.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
He wouldn't. I don't see him going to Japan. I see him being like, that's a national name that they want to get. I could see that.
Yeah. What about you, Lee? Did you watch it? Did you like it, or did you not like it?
I didn't really care either way. It was just like, It's because I'm just not a fan of his. I don't really care what he does, honestly. So I watched it and I was like, okay, so he's probably going back to the indies somewhere to revive that old character, and that's fine. Maybe he'll do some interesting stuff. Maybe I'll watch it, maybe I won't. I don't think he's going to Japan.
What if he
There's-
goes to MLW, baby?
If he goes to MLW, fine. He'll give the MLW some marquee fucking name. I mean, they do have MVP isn't with them anymore. But they do have some star power in MLW, but he would be like current big time star power. And yeah, no, there's no way he's going to Japan, I don't think, because he wouldn't want to fucking put his body through that shit after the injuries he's had lately. He wouldn't want to he wouldn't want to risk that shit in Japan. He wouldn't be a fit, I don't think.
That's part of what my question was too, because he had like the barbed wire around his fist. So like he's going back to hardcore stuff. But I would think that after having, I'm not going to call it the easy life, but WWE style, sure, it's there's no easy side of wrestling unless you're Joey Ryan, not even taking bumps sometimes. I get that, but but you get my point with it. But like he's not exactly. I don't want to say like the whole Daniel Bryan Miz comment, but he's not like he's unsafe. But it's got to be a lot easier to do what he's doing than to go out there and have, no offense, Bomber, and don't mean it this way, but like CCW matches where you're going out there and doing insane stuff because he's done that and then got to this point and this is better. Potentially, you'd think on your body.
But he'll be taking big indie paydays, and he'll be doing a much reduced schedule. I mean, this guy won't be going out every week on the road, which is more debilitating.
But do you think he'll be doing crazy hardcore stuff?
Oh, I'm sure he will, but I mean, if he's spreading that out between, like maybe 1 or 2 matches a month, then fine. That's no big deal.
That's true.
Also, I think WWE might have him go on the indies, like as part of his deal. Like he'll have.
You think they're working everybody? They're not even telling anyone?
I think so.
Would be wow. That would. He must. If he's agreeing,
but
because if he's agreeing to that, that would be a
super hardcore matches with that. I think,
but that's such a finger to Brian at the same time.
Yeah, because like here's the thing.
Yeah, it's true.
If he's doing that, first of all, if he got seriously hurt on the indies somewhere in some like backwater fucking place, doing some shitty match in front of 5 people and breaks his neck or some shit. That's a big loss of investment for the WWE. And if he was working with the WWE and working everybody else and not telling his friends and lying to them, and going out on the indies, he would be blackballed from ever getting a job outside the WWE again. I mean, if he's cool with that, that's fine. But, I mean, that just sounds very far-fetched to me. That I think, like, that's a work within a work within a work. I don't see that.
I'm just blown away on how quick this was a turnaround. I thought, because you could tell he needed a break. He wanted to get he just needed to get away from wrestling. I feel like that's the way he's been talking. True, but he came back and it just didn't. I don't know. You're right. Maybe he came back and it just didn't live up. And he's like, fuck this. I'm not re-signing. I'm gonna go do this right. I'm gonna go, go somewhere else, wherever they pay me. Maybe that's what went down. If I had to put money on it, I do agree. I think he is going to AEW. If I had to put money on it right now, I don't see him going to places like the under indies, like CZW. If anything, it would be, if he went there, it would be like a one-time, hey guys, hey, look at me, I'm back. But like, he's not going to go to those places as like a mainstay. If he goes anywhere, it'll be like AEW or Impact, and I see he does have Sami Callihan there. Him and Sami Callihan are major friends, and I just don't picture Impact, but I could possibly see that as a possible outcome.
It's exciting though, because there's so many possibilities.
There's options. There are options.
He doesn't have to sign with anybody exclusively. No. He could just do shots wherever the fuck he wants.
He could do the Cody Rhodes.
Oh, the Enzo and Cass deal, the free agents.
And
I was waiting. Yes, I got somebody.
Here's another aspect of it. I mean, I feel bad because we haven't mentioned it, but Ring of Honor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean,
you could do that.
Kind of forgot about it, but I could easily see that.
They're in desperate need of a name.
I didn't forget about it, but I mean,
I did.
He just seems so not ring. I mean, I don't know if that makes sense, but I can't picture him in Ring of Honor. He's more of a just not a Ring of Honor guy. I don't know if that makes sense.
They have PCO as a tag champ right now. Ring of Honor will take whatever they can get.
Dude, he's awesome.
And that's not a knock on PCO.
Oh no, he's amazing.
But they'll take whatever. And if it's like, hey, Mox, you want to come over here for like 4 tapings in the next month? Sure. Like that, I don't see any problem.
I also
with
don't
that.
know if they could afford Moxley.
Oh, I think
that's
they
fair.
could. They got the Sinclair money. They could dump some people. I mean,
they could
have made that work because they don't have much. They don't have like they lost all their big contracts. Quote,
they don't have
big. They don't have Rhodes. They don't have Adam Page. They don't have the Young Bucks. Both of them.
And from what I understand, Skrull is only like through halfway of this year. Yeah. Then he's free as well. So
right.
I wonder where he's going.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think we know where.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, I know where Skrull's going. Come on. Yeah. I mean, their main guys. They got Taven as their champ. They got Lethal, but their main event scene is not.
It's barren.
Yeah. There you go.
Pretty much just mentioned it.
Yeah, I mean...
No, it's exciting, though. It's fun to see where this is actually going to end up.
If Ambrose was... if Moxley was on the Ring of Honor roster, he would stick out like... head and shoulders like there was no reason he should ever lose to those guys. It would be so one-sided of a like star power type deal. It would just be it would be interesting to see.
I don't know about that. No,
Yeah,
because I think he'd be professional enough that he'd make it work and sell for them. Like there's
No,
that.
I don't. Mark for Dean Ambrose.
I think you're marking a bit because
No.
people. I could see that when Bully Ray came in, it's like, well, he should obliterate some of these guys. No, he doesn't.
I mean,
And it's the same kind of idea there. Like, is Ambrose a bigger star than some of the ones they had? Arguably, no, but also arguably yes. Because I mean, the Young Bucks were selling like gods for merchandise and stuff like that, and have their own company now.
I could see though.
Meanwhile, Ambrose was outselling everybody else in WWE too for a while, so it's like
Ambrose is a little more popular than the Young Bucks.
I was gonna say I could be wrong, but I think assuming this
mainstream
bummer, but there's really never been a WWE guy that actually signed and jumped to Ring of Honor. Big name, right?
Not that I know. I mean, not that I know of.
I mean, I know Bully Ray.
Yeah,
Cetera,
there's been some mid card guys, and that's about it.
Yeah, Bully Ray would probably be the biggest. What's his name's there now?
Cody. After a bit of
There you go. Thank
hop and
you.
Impact,
No,
Cody's
that-
the other one.
Cody is the other one. That's the one that made the biggest impact. And he was a goddamn jobber in WWE, and he became a main eventer in Ring of Honor.
He was not a jobber in WWE.
Okay.
He was never a main event guy.
he
though.
was-
No, he was.
he
He
was
was never a main event guy. He always felt he was undervalued. They always saw him as you're good in this B spot, like to coin the phrase there.
He was
They never
undercard.
saw him as anything beyond that. They saw you're a good Goldust type in that level. Just
Well,
for
I wouldn't quite say B.
He wasn't
Maybe
making
C-
Dean Ambrose.
No,
the
maybe
contract
C
Dean
plus.
Ambrose
Maybe
could
C
pull
plus
in.
guy.
No, but they saw him like that's your spot,
Yeah,
and you're good
exactly.
at it, and we want you there for that. And he's like, no, I deserve more than that. But he was still a national name from WWE.
I agree.
Like a Jack Swagger type. It's like he might not have set the world on fire, but you know who this guy is, and he's for real.
And
So to
And-
call
and-
him a jobber, I don't agree with.
Oh,
Sure,
whoa,
they
boy.
jobbed him
No, I don't agree
out,
with
but
that
he's not a
either.
jobber. I don't
Boy, oh
agree.
boy, did Jack Swagger not set the Indies on fire when he left.
no, that was bad. No, yeah, jobber is harsh. I was definitely exaggerating with that, but
I get what you're saying,
was
though.
the
He wasn't
undercard
a
guy.
main event world beater like a Dean Ambrose.
No,
I get, yeah.
Because Dean Ambrose had a great run.
Honestly,
He did.
the biggest name that Ring of Honor picked up after leaving somewhere was probably AJ when you think about it, and he didn't come from WWE, but everybody knew him and thought highly of
He
him.
was
Well-
he already came through Ring of Honor.
yeah, he
Yeah,
he
but
did
when,
make
when he went back to
one-shots
Ring
and
of Honor, when he went back there, it
And
was
Matt
a
Hardy
big deal.
Matt Hardy did it once. I think.
Yep,
under
him and
WWE
Jeff
contract.
did.
Well, he went kind of all over.
Oh
too.
no, that was back in like 05. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
no, that
I'm
was
saying-
like a loner type deal. Yeah.
And people
full-time
rejected him
contract.
though. You remember that?
They
Ring of
booed him,
Honor
right?
fans hated Matt Hardy there because they're used to, hey, like we do our own stuff. We don't like the guys from WWE and stuff.
Yeah,
we like
and
our
remember-
wrestling. Yeah.
Remember when he showed up there with the broken gimmick? They went ape shit for him. So it all depends on what the situation is.
Yeah, they're
I
definitely
don't
different
think-
now.
I look like to say that Ambrose, Mox, whatever, would look that out of place and not even on like he's just that much higher level than Ring
I just
of
mean
Honor.
star power
I
wise.
don't agree with that at all.
Star-
Star power wise,
Yeah.
I kind of because they are so depleted right now. If we're talking back in November, December, I don't agree.
Well, no, I'm
because-
talking about now. Like if he goes
Yeah.
now, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, but that's all the reason to get him.
I think Dean Ambrose signing full time with Ring of Honor is a bigger deal than Cody Rhodes, though.
Oh, yeah.
Agreed. No,
a million times bigger
I
than
agree.
Rhodes.
So
Yeah.
I'm not kind of sure what the argument is here.
No, I'm saying the argument kind of started when I
He's
said
apparently
that.
too big a star for Ring of Honor is what I'm hearing.
I honestly that's kind of what I'm saying. I think he would be so out of place because it would almost be like
once he's working,
Why?
he'll make it work.
I'm
Yeah.
not saying
He's good enough to make it work.
Guys, I'm not saying he would go in there with like an ego and be like, I'm not losing to this guy. I'm talking about the way he's perceived by the fans, by by people that watch and stuff. He's gonna come in there way head and shoulders above guys like Jay Lethal or Matt Taven.
I don't think
Not
so.
a Ring of Honor audience. They'd be like, "Oh, this is awesome! I can't wait to see him fight Jeff Cobb." They're going to be that audience. They're going to be smart and know, "Oh, this is going to be great." Not, "Oh,
Him
he
and Marty
shouldn't
doing a
lose to
stare
anybody."
down, right? That'd be
No.
awesome.
I mean, he wasn't presented in the
I get
WWE
you.
as bloody Hulk Hogan or some shit.
No, he got his ass beat, but
I
he's
know,
good
but
at
we're
it.
also
Like
talking
his-
about the roster that Ring of Honor has right now, and it's really, really weak. I feel right now.
It is
I-
weak, but they're
it's-
not looked at. They're not jobbers either. Like to throw the
No.
term back out there.
It's
There's
shallow.
world champions. There's tag champions. There's guys there that could easily be perceived as that level of a competitor. Maybe not fame, but as a competitor, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, he'd be going in.
That's
like
a big difference.
He'd be going in on top too. He wouldn't be working his way up the ladder. So I mean, you've got 2 or 3 big guys there that he can have feuds with. And you know, and he's not going to be there long term. I mean, if he goes to Ring of Honor, he's not going to be long term.
Well, and they sing the praises of Jay Lethal up and down, left, right. Like there'll be no problem in saying that he's on the same level because they'll present him that way.
Yeah.
Do the fans accept that? Yeah, they'll be on board.
Can we throw this out here? Is that this is? I mean, I could be wrong, but this is not our opinion. We do not think he's going to Ring of Honor.
No.
No.
I strongly do
We're
not think.
No, well, I mean the dirt sheets that we made up say it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
check out
Add that.
jobberradio.com. You'll see where he's going. He's going to Ring of Honor, folks.
Yeah,
No,
if you analyze the MOX close enough, it looks like ROH.
if I had to put like percentage, I would put AEW at the top. Impact,
The safe bet, yes.
Impact's probably second least likely place he would go.
Nope.
no, I think Impact is least likely.
You
I
think Ring of Honor over? No, I mean,
No,
Yeah.
I think it's AEW.
He's got a
Ring of
lot
Honor
of.
Ring of Honor has a bigger audience than Impact does. So yeah,
I do agree. I mean, I do agree with that, but
And
he's
more
got
money.
he's got more friends.
Or are we excluding them from this?
Well,
WWE. I honestly, I don't
think
even know what to think on that.
I think
one, to be
WWE is
honest.
down even lower than Impact and Ring of Honor.
I think it's number 2. I think WWE is
Okay.
a safe bet number 2.
Okay. I mean, it's possible, I guess, but I just find it hard to believe that he would just rebrand his fucking name in WWE.
I don't
But,
think it's
mean,
up to him. I don't. Maybe
I can
it's
see
not
it,
up to
though.
him.
I mean, they rename people a lot too. So
That's true. We've had a million name changes lately, so you know what? No, guys, look, time the fuck out. If it was Moxley, that shit would be WWE would be promoting that shit, right? Like if they were keeping.
If the story is to not promote it and it's its own thing, no, they wouldn't.
Because they just wrote him off.
Ring of Honor didn't promote
Are they
the
that smart,
free
though?
agents.
Are they that smart though?
If the storyline is that Ambrose is being an independent, you don't promote that on your national thing.
Well, technically,
And are they that smart? Yeah.
and technically, it
Someone
was
should be like, hold on.
nobody was really promoting anything except his name because there was no nothing really in the video. There was a bunch of stuff people looked into. Like somebody said, like it showed dice or something. It showed a 2 and a 5. So everybody's like, "Oh, it's going to be a double or
Anyone
nothing."
could've tossed that in.
No, 2 and a
Like,
5 would be, that makes me think May 25th and Dice, Vegas, double or nothing. That sounds obvious to me
Yeah,
based on what you just said.
Yeah, that's what people
I'm
are
saying
saying.
like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
could easily just been tossed in there. Like
Oh,
just
yeah.
to get people thinking.
True. And
Either way, even if it is AEW, that could be the.
I haven't heard
a.
him breaking the walls down thing that people have said. This is not me.
Oh, I
buying
think
into this.
Woody or Red was saying that it's a perfect imagery to make you think it's going to Jericho.
Yeah, just like I'm like, why would he be doing I mean,
That doesn't make sense.
it's fun
That's
to
a
talk
stretch.
about. Fun to talk about. That's what I said. I said, dude, that's a stretch.
you can overanalyze anything to make it fit your narrative.
Yeah.
You might be right, but you still can do it.
The
That's
best
wrestling Twitter in a nutshell, right there.
the best one I saw that I liked was it was showing him escape this place that it could have been a prison or like an
Jail
asylum,
cell,
an
WWE
asylum.
creative.
You
oh,
hear
because
that?
he's getting out. Yeah, well,
Getting in the
his
asylum.
gimmick was also the Ambrose Asylum, for God's sake.
Now, see,
that's all that could
Now
be.
that's symbolic to me. Is like that's not a crazy thing. That's a subtle like breaking out of the asylum, getting out of the
That's
WWE,
no, that's a broadcasting of a gimmick change.
and that's good.
I'm not the lunatic anymore. I'm Moxley.
Yeah,
That's
so-
all that is. That doesn't mean he's escaping the prison of WWE and the shackles are coming. No, that just is like he's aware of his audience
The
and
only
changing
thing-
his gimmick.
The only thing I didn't like,
These also work.
I liked it for the most part.
mean-
The only thing I didn't like was the fake ass barbed wire and the fake ass blood. I wasn't really big on that, but other than
He
that,
should have really been cutting up his arm for the.
well, he should have been
shot.
using at least real barbed wire. Goddamn. That's what I got so mad at Impact. I mean, Sami Callihan has been through like real shit before, and on Impact at Rebellion, he pulled out a baseball bat with this horribly fake barbed wire. It was so fake. I'm like, oh my god, Sammy has been through that before. He can take a real barbed wire, like just holding it on his face.
I get that because that's live performance. You're in wrestling. You're trying to sell it, but for tape
and make
with
it look
special
okay.
effects,
Hey, make it look good. Then that's what I'm saying. Make it look good. It didn't look good, is what I'm saying.
then it's
Yeah, it didn't look good on TV. Probably looked great for the live crowd.
no. WWE has not really done a film. in
Yeah,
a while,
that's the worst
So
part.
they have some extra budget. So maybe they put
Yeah.
it towards the Dean.
I'm saying if the Amber, I just didn't like how fake it looked. The barbed wire. I mean, it's
Whatever.
super. It's nitpicky. I know. It's nitpicky.
Yeah.
I know. It's just me being nitpicky. But I'm just saying that's the only thing I didn't like about it. AKA, I liked it quite a bit.
Funded this video actually. Now.
Well, it would have been real fucking barbed wire if CZ did. Everything you saw in that would have been real. There would have been real police chasing them. It would have been all real if it was CZW doing it.
But again, to go the whole thing here, like if this was WWE, wouldn't they be promoting it? Yeah, historically they do, but every now and then they know when to have the announcers not talk to sell something to have it look like, oh, this is actually it's real now, and they know enough to do that in the right moments. They're bad at it for consistency.
I could see them
but
when Dean Ambrose, quotes unquote, makes his big return to WWE TV. He could come out and say, "I was a character here, Dean Ambrose, but I used to be Jon Moxley."
Oh my god!
Because that's what they're doing now.
Oh, just think of it. My contract is up.
see
Dean Ambrose is left, but I didn't go anywhere.
I can see all that, and you guys need to stop that shit because
that would be a neat story. It was like, yeah, my contract's up, but I'm not leaving.
Nope.
No, fuck that.
And we do know that if this was WWE, his return is going to be messed up somehow.
Oh yeah, no, but then they'll just go back to having matches with the same people, and it won't be.
It's just going to open up on Raw with him.
It won't be any good.
And I'll say this: I don't think he's going to WWE again right now. I do. Of
he
course,
will.
Yes,
Eventually.
Eventually, he will come back to WWE at some point.
He'll be Hall of Famer by next year at this point.
No, it better not be. Better fucking not be. Yeah, as much as I even like him, I don't want to see it. Oh, he will be 100%. All the Shield's going in together at some point.
Probably.
Yeah, he'll be a two-timer.
Maybe.
I can see it.
Maybe I can see it too.
But they put in 3 two-timers.
To be champion.
That door's open now. So
yeah. I don't know. I think he's probably going to the AEW. I think that's the safest bet. If you had to put money on it, I'd put hey, double or nothing, baby. Hey, no, okay. The last thing I want
how about that gold dust?
The last thing I want to talk about today, the Cody Rhodes promo, the whole Gold Dust, the video that came out talking about him going over. Have you guys seen
2 promos?
Yeah, I know. It sounds like you've seen it, Scott. Lee, have you seen it?
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay. Peanut, have you seen it?
I zoned out for a second.
Oh my God, Peanut! The most Peanut thing ever done. Okay. Have you seen the Cody Rhodes, Dustin Rhodes stuff?
I've only seen the images. I haven't actually seen any video. I didn't see the AW.
Okay, so we'll go with Scott first. Scott, what are you thinking on? How do you think they're pulling it off so far? Is it making you hyped, or what are you feeling about it?
It's the usual thing with Cody Rhodes for me, where he's good at promoting. He's really good at doing the promotional stuff and making it seem like a big deal and a big event. I think back to All In and stuff like that. And the first video we saw was with Goldust, or Dustin Rhodes, because he's used that name elsewhere. He can call himself that. Where he's like, I'm coming to face my brother. We don't get along. I love him, but we got to do this. It's one brother does it this way, one does it the other way. It's family, but it's different. It was really well done. Just a simple, basic storyline promo for why 2 brothers are going to fight. And then he did something else about putting the Goldust stuff in a chest, and that's gone. That's beyond him. Thank you for all the good times. And I'm moving on. It's AEW. And then Cody put one out, 4 minutes, him in front of a black wall, and a black, like a void. And he just says, I'm not here to kill my brother. I love my brother. I'm here to kill the Attitude Era. And he goes off about how they're always being compared to, unfairly to the prior generation, which I agree. And one of the comments that caught everybody's attention was how a pissant bodybuilder will go there and make everything no DQ, or how people will say that Okada and Omega wasn't as good as these other matches because they have the whole old high standard, and they're just unfairly being compared to a prior generation which doesn't hold up anymore. And the pissant comment was to the pissant thing from Triple H Hall of Fame about AEW.
Yeah.
So he got his dig back in. And the cool thing about the promo in 4 or 5 minutes, which I've almost taken as long talking about it as it was, is that he said, I'm not there to hurt my brother. I love my brother, but I have to do this to prove what we are. I'm the least Rhodes of the Rhodes, but that's why it has to be done. It's good shit. I don't think the match is going to be all that great. It's one of those where it's it'll be fine. But the promo is fantastic from both sides. So.
All right. Lee, what were your thoughts when you saw it?
I thought the promos were all right. Like Scott said, he pretty much summed it all up. I mean, it gets the points across. But I don't care. I don't want to see the match. It's like once you get out of the promos and you get into the ring, it's Cody Rhodes carrying one half of this match, and fuck that. I don't really enjoy watching him wrestle. I don't think he's all that good. Goldust can still fucking go, and no doubt he'll carry his brother to something watchable, but it's not anything I really want to watch. I have no interest in it.
See, I I think this is going to be one of the more the better storytelling matches on the whole show. So I mean, depends how you look at it, I guess. Like if it's your thing, if you're more of a storytelling fan, or if you're just out there to watch, the typical indie stuff, as far as super kicks, flips, the typical stuff that you see on the indies. I think this is going to be the different one. This is going to be a storytelling match, and I think it's going to be good. I'm pretty excited for it. I thought the promo was great. I thought the second he switched, his promo it started out as a heartfelt thing, but as soon as he said, "I'm here to kill the Attitude Era," dude, it had such a different feel, and it just came off so fucking badass, and it was so good. And I disagree with a lot of the shit he was saying, by the way, just personally.
Oh yeah.
But it was a fucking great promo. To call Triple H out and all that and stuff. It's like, dude, you
believed in it.
Yeah,
even if you don't agree with him, he believed in it, and that was good.
And it was good. I did really like his promo. It was fantastic. And I think to me, it sold that match as a match that I do myself. I do want to see that match on the show. Actually, out of all the matches I've seen so far, I know the Young Bucks and the Lucha Bros is going to be good. Jericho and Omega are going to be good too. But this one, it makes me actually want to see it with a little bit more build-up and stuff. There's not been a whole lot of build-up going on with this Double or Nothing that we've seen so far. At least we're getting something out of these guys. I haven't seen much for any of the other matches. Have you guys?
It's just been on there being the Elite, which I don't really watch much.
Yeah, I don't either. Honestly, I haven't really caught. I literally watched it leading up to All In, but I haven't seen anything after All In. But I don't know. I really enjoyed the promo. I am surprised because, according to the dirt sheets I heard, they weren't supposed to reference WWE or whenever Triple H made that pissant comment, that was him taking a jab at them. And I heard everybody say, well, they're not going to reference it. They're ignoring the WWE. They're doing their own thing. But look what happened. Rhodes came out and said something.
Just the dirt sheets?
I saw it. Yeah, I don't know what website. I saw it somewhere or on Twitter. Some.
That's the job of the number 2 company, is to belittle the number 1 company.
But from what I said, that they're taking the different approach though. They're not going to acknowledge. They aren't going
a wrestling thing of uneducated people of knowing how basic marketing and
also
stuff like that.
Billy
The
Gunn.
number 1 never mentions number 2. Number 2 mentions number 1.
Well, Billy Gunn
Apple was trying to compete and take down PC. What did they always mention? PC's boring and old. Come to us. We're exciting. Does Apple reference PC anymore? No.
I don't know. Yeah,
I don't.
No, you don't see those same ads. Yeah, you're right.
Well, the thing
My
is,
point is that it's a dumb thing for anyone to say.
But Billy Gunn is, as I was saying, Billy Gunn I've watched some shoots and stuff with him, some interviews, and he was saying that is their mentality, and he's on their payroll. He's, I guess, one of the behind the scenes guys, and he says their plan is to not, pay attention or reference, talk about, engage the WWE. That was what he said, their mentality was going to be. Again, that could have been just him saying shit in an interview too. I don't know.
It could literally be the one-off comment where he's going to strike back at the comment to him, and it's against his brother, long associated with WWE.
Mm-hmm. I loved it. I loved it personally. That's the stuff that I think the fans really want to see is, WWE take a shot, them take a shot. This is what people have been wanting a fight ever since WCW. This is what people live for, and we'll see.
I don't think it doesn't have to be like TNA where they actually go up head to head on a nightly basis and try to take them down.
No.
Bad. But when TNA was still hip and cool and they would reference something of WWE, people would be like, "Oh my god, that's awesome." So
I got to take off, guys. I have to go to work.
So. Well, anyway, yeah, we're getting out of here anyway. This is the end of the show, guys.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we hit our mark. Lee, get out of here. We'll talk to you next time.
Watch the Crockett Cup, by the way. It was really good.
There it is. Crockett Cup.
The NWA is doing their thing, and they have a new national champion, a new women's champion, new tag champions.
And new everything. They're trying to. It looks like they're trying to get in the game too. Honestly.
Well, there's the whole Lucha Underground contracts. You want to talk about that?
I don't even know what that is.
Well, the people aren't being released from their contracts because of the broadcasting the way it's done, which means that people can't.
Yeah, that's why Joey Ryan can't be in AEW.
Yeah, that's why people can't really appear on TV because of a contract. That's why Ricochet got delayed a year into WWE, stuff like that. They had to sue them to get released. Well, yeah, because they did like 2 weeks of tapings, and then the show wouldn't be broadcast for like 2 more years. Well, yeah, you can't appear in anything during that time frame. I mean, what the fuck? It's not a wrestling contract; it's a TV contract, but they can't be on TV.
They can't be on a rival company's television while their shows air.
It was bad. It's like you're not even broadcasting. This is bullshit. People are getting out of those contracts now,
are they still around? Is Lucha Underground still a thing?
No, but kind of, and that's the problem. They're not even filming a season 5, so why am I under contract? So people are getting out of this contract. That's all happening right now. That's kind of what I was talking about. But that's why Willie Mack is apparently not national champion anymore, because he's got a Lucha contract, which throws things off. Even though he's on Impact, there's rumors that the El Rey Network is sending cease and desists to certain places who put him on their TV. So yeah, there's problems with that. But Colt Cabana is your new NWA national champion. He'll be defending against James Storm at a Ring of Honor event coming up.
I do enjoy Storm. I'm not not the biggest Cabana fan, honestly.
The Crockett Cup declare crowned new tag champions for the first time in 2 years. It is Brody King and PCO, who are also the Ring of Honor tag champions now.
What do you mean? What did you just say there? What first time in 2 years? What?
The NWA, when the whole Billy Corgan
the tag team titles
takeover. Yeah, so when that happened, they kept Tim Storm as champ, but they vacated like everything else.
Yeah, yep.
And that was September 2017. They hadn't had tag champs since then. Yep. They just did that now, so that's now. And the women's title got vacated like last week because Jazz had a medical emergency or some family shit.
What's up with that? Yeah.
Yeah. So Sienna, now under her real name, is the women's champ. So. And they're moving forward. They're doing stuff. They're part of Ring of Honor. They're doing their own broadcasts, like just a straight up NWA Ring of Honor shows. And yeah, they're doing their thing. And they know they have to get out there and have a different type of media for the current audience, because they know you can tape something right now, but people are there with their cell phone and results get out. So they want to attack it differently.
Exactly. Yeah.
Outside of the arenas and the rings, and try to do a different type of product. I'm like, well, I'm interested to see how the NWA does that. So neat. So.
I mean, it could be interesting for sure. I mean, if they just stay in their, I think if they stayed in their area, the almost territorial area down south, down North Carolina and all that kind of stuff, I think they could, build a nice little indie thing down there. If they had Cornette, because Cornette came and was the commentator for that show, that would bring some nice star power to their events and stuff. That would be fun.
And the thing is, though, they said we've got a 20-year plan. Well, they're into year 2. Like they know, let's not rush this and go crazy.
Hey,
slowly build, slowly get out there, do it right. And I mean, Skrull didn't win the title. Aldis still has it. That's just building Aldis for more stuff too.
No,
so.
I enjoy Aldis. He's he's not the fanciest guy, but he's solid. He's solid. I like him.
And I would not be surprised now that Dustin is out there, because he always said he wanted to be NWA champion.
That would be cool. That would be really cool.
He always wanted that. So
hey,
I would not be
and
surprised.
Cody
right?
was, so he could wouldn't that be weird that Dustin would be the third one to do it? That'd be funny. But no, that would be cool. That'd be cool.
Yeah. So the NWA, we were ending stuff, but they are doing some good stuff out there. It is worth mentioning as well. It's not like super big, awesome Ambrosey type stuff right now, but
no,
they're out there. That's like, kind of the point, is they are standing their ground, doing their thing. So
my friend, Jobber Radio Prediction League member, that guy Jack, he was in attendance that night. He went to the show. I would have been there if I was still in Charlotte. I would have been at that show, but I'm a little far away now. But it was. I really do enjoy the stuff that they do over there in NWA. I enjoy all this stuff. I really do. I've been following it for a little bit. So
you saw him live, didn't you?
I did see him live.
Like you. He had the NWA belt?
Yes, he was a champion. This was literally a week before All In or whatever it was. He was just about to lose the belt, which is funny. And it was, ironically enough, the finals of the Crockett Cup. Last year. But guess what? They're not acknowledging that tournament for some reason. I don't understand why. It was official. It was the Crockett Cup Foundation or whatever it was putting it on and all that, but it was not acknowledged. They didn't acknowledge it on the show, which is very interesting.
They're saying this is the first Crockett Cup since the 80s and 90s.
Yep, and that is very interesting. They went through and did a Crockett Cup tournament last year, and they didn't acknowledge it. Very, very interesting there. But that was the event where I saw they were called the Lethal Enforcers. There are a couple Guys from Evolve who won it, the Crockett Cup last year. 2 guys from Evolve, very good guys. James Drake and Anthony Henry are their names, if anybody knows who they are. But yeah, no, I was there, and Aldis fought one of the local main event guys at PWX, the show I went to, and it was cool. It was all it was on the baseball field of the Charlotte Knights, the Chicago White Sox AAA team. So yeah, it was very cool, and I hope for the best for Mr. Aldis. But yeah, guys, anything else before we get out of here? I know we talked about like a bajillion things this episode.
For a show that we didn't have anything to talk about. I mean, we filled the air.
That's right. We jumped in there and just went
I
at it.
realize it's almost 11.
We didn't even mention Money in the Bank coming up in the 2 weeks, so we'll have to come back for that.
We didn't do the boring, this is what happened, and then it was a nice change discussion.
Well, there you go. I mean, yeah. There was a lot of like little tiny
We didn't get caught up in the
details.
WWE bubble.
Yeah, and I like that.
But we got to touch on the interesting dialogue, in my professional broadcast opinion.
Yes, there it is. But yeah, we'll definitely talk Money in the Bank next time. Whether it's, I don't know how the dates line up, whether it's going to be before or after, but we'll talk about it either way.
But dude, it's May 19th, Kane's favorite day. How could you forget?
May 19th. I never. You know what? I'm looking at the schedule right now. We should record on the 13th, or sorry, the 16th. Episode should be out on the 17th, so we should have a Money in the Bank episode as long as we pull through, because we did fail last week, and you know what? Some of that was me. So, yeah.
Well, considering you said, "Hey, we're not recording this week," sounds like it was all you.
Yeah, it wasn't all me, but
I blame Rab.
Do you
I always blame Rab.
Dude, I can close this on a
and I know he listens to this now.
He does.
Yes.
His gimmick was, I don't listen to the podcast.
Yep.
I can close this with a random story that just happened that's kind of local.
Do it. Go for it.
Wrestling.
Close
So Canada's Wrestling Elite, CWE, they came through Thunder Bay just last weekend, and new tag champions and blah blah blah. It's a Canadian promotion that Brutus Beefcake no-showed for. We talked about that one before.
Oh, nice.
Them, yeah. So they'll do like a 30-day tour through small towns in Canada. That's their thing. That's their 10th year this year. Psychosis is their headliner for this year, and he's so like Beefcake was doing signings and stuff, and Jake Roberts was there as like an enforcer, and Farouk did enforcer on Sim and stuff. They've had different guys through the years. They've got the Kingdom right now on the tour with them as well, doing like Ring of Honor guys. And Eli Drake was going to be there, but when Impact released them, they had to pull him out, and they did different stuff. But right now it's Psychosis. Well, they were driving from, I think, in the Sudbury area, and we got snow the last little bit, and it was happened there. They were in a car accident. Psychosis, another guy I forget the name of, and the promoter, Hotshot Danny Duggan, were in that car. And he ended up under the water and drowning.
What?
And Psychosis saved that man's life and pulled him out. And he was in the hospital for a bit, and he posted that from yesterday. This all happened yesterday. So Psychosis literally saved the CWE champion and promoter from drowning because he was in the car with them.
Wait, he's the world champion and the promoter?
Of course.
Oh.
What
it's a Canadian Fed, right?
That would be...
So that's making the rounds now about how Psychosis saved a man from drowning.
Wow.
It was the promoter. It was the main guy.
And the champ.
And they're supposed to
get paid, right? You got to get paid.
Oh, yeah. Well, and they're supposed to debut, I think, in Toronto itself, like in the next day or so. It was like day 30 out of 38. Like they do almost like a daily show driving across Canada. If you look it up, you'll see the stuff. But it's kind of like, holy shit.
Damn.
Go Psychosis. That's kind of awesome.
No, that is cool.
So, just like I said, and they were in Thunder Bay this last week. I didn't go. I was busy. But yeah, that's a cool thing. And it's a good story because there's a GoFundMe now to raise funds for them and stuff like that. But
well, it's a good little note to go out on.
Very Canadian. Very Canadian.
Yeah, very Canadian. All right, guys. Well, that is going to be it for this episode. Please, first of all, before we get out of here, I'm going to say, you know what? Hit us up on Patreon, patreon.com/
Give us money.
Radio. Yeah, you get to hear what happens before the shows, after the shows.
Yeah.
You get to request things. If you hit certain tiers, shout out to
like
our
a Best in the Business.
Best in the Business episode just came out not too long ago. You need to hit it up if you haven't already. But yeah, and of course on Twitter at Jobber Radio. You heard I was already arguing with people all day today. So if you want to get on there and argue with me, hey, let's do it. Let's do it. I am ready. I am ready to go. So, all right. On that note, let's get out of here, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Where are you, Rab?
Where are you?